Thank you for tuning in to another episode on the Scouse Article channel. I truly appreciate you being here. If you can hit that subscribe button, it massively helps. I'm going to dive right into it because a lot of people right now are watching who's resigning. They're watching who's leaving Labour, who's walking out to number 10. But something very quieter is happening, and for me, arguably a lot more important, because when people are watching who exits, the system is preparing continuity. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the Chief Digital and Information Officer, the role in the NHS, we've got Ming Tang leaving her role, and that role oversees the NHS's national data strategy, including the Federated Data Platform. And the real question isn't why she's leaving, it's what happens next. You see, this role, the Chief Digital Information Officer role, it isn't about the IT upgrades or GP admin. It literally governs how NHS data is structured, linked, analysed and reused at national scale. So under Ming Tang, the NHS didn't just modernise systems. As we know, it laid the foundations for the Federated Data Platform, population level analytics, the infrastructure designed for future AI. And that's not my opinion, as we know. That's the NHS strategy. It's in the documents. So when someone leaves a role like this, you've got to think, well, who's continuing? So enter Jules Hunt. Now, this is where he comes in, because Jules Hunt was appointed Interim Director General for Technology, Digital and Data at the Department of Health and Social Care in October 2025. And that role, it spans through the NHS digital systems, the national platforms, the live services and data governance. And you see, he's already being named alongside Ming Tang in board papers. So she's publicly said that she'll work with him during the transition. So before government, Jules Hunt spent years in IBM and PwC. He was leading complex technology delivery in health systems, including the NHS. Now, I've got to make this clear, I'm not alleging any wrongdoing. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. What I'm saying is, it tells us something important about how systems are designed. Consultancy and enterprise tech culture. See, the priorities are scalability, platform-based solutions, long-term system optimization. So when that worldview comes in, you see, it doesn't disappear when someone joins the government. It becomes embedded in how the decisions are framed. And that's important when we look at Palantir. So, and as you know, with the petition, we'll get into that. It's at 11,000 signatures. Still no one on mainstream media has picked up on it. No one's got back to me. It was thought would get back to me. But when we're looking at Palantir, you see, Palantir isn't the AI. Palantir Foundry is the data operating system underneath the NHS Federated Data Platform. So the Foundry, like the software, is ingesting data from multiple sources, standardising it, linking it and making it usable for analytics, modelling and decision support. And then it's the AI tools which are going to be able to plug into that system. You see, it can be different vendors, they can come and go, but the architecture is going to stay, and that's a lot harder to replace. Now, that's why the petition doesn't focus just on cancelling one contract, because it misunderstands the bigger issue, in that once a platform is embedded, the organisations can build around it. So, and here's the dots that most people might not be connecting, in that Palantir recently published videos showcasing work alongside with the Ministry of Defence, alongside a company called Hedin. I don't know whether I've got that pronunciation right. I'm sure people will tell me in the comments, but you can look it up. And they specialise in large-scale simulation and modelling. So it's different departments, but with the same logic in centralising data, system-level modelling, like scenario testing and national-scale optimisation. So this isn't about the NHS becoming the Ministry of Defence. It's about the same infrastructure logic being normalised across the state. You know, if you look back at all my work on the dots that we've been connecting, You'll see as well why this petition's so powerful. This is our platform scale, not through secrecy, it's hidden in plain sight, isn't it? So let's be absolutely clear, because it's not about stopping doctors accessing any records to treat patients. This is about the secondary use of the data. It's about the population analytics, the system planning, the operational optimization, and the future AI assisted decision making. So once these systems exist, any government, presently or in the future, can use them within the rules that exist at the time. And that's quite uncomfortable, isn't it? Because systems don't care either who's in power. And that's why this petition doesn't mention Palantir, because Palantir is a vendor and this is a system issue. So the petition targets one pressure point that actually works: meaningful consent and opt-out at system level. So if consent is real, the platform will lose leverage, data sets lose the completeness, and the power recenters around the public and not around these companies. You see, that's data sovereignty in a digitized state. This is what we're having to fight for, the right for the data sovereignty. And that's why it is hard to articulate. You see, Ming Tang leaving, it doesn't stop it. And Jules Hunt stepping in doesn't create it. It's just that they've been building it for years and now people are starting to notice. You see, I've written an article about this on my Substack. I've included the link to the petition, which is now at 11,000 signatures. It hit it 3 days ago. We're waiting for a government response. I am under no illusions what's going to be in this government response and the language that we're going to use, but it gives us leverage and something to work on. And once I get a response from the government, I'll be doing a free downloadable, which then you can be asking the right questions, emailing your MP and raising it. This is about creating leverage, getting it on public record. This is what the petition's going to do, and we're keeping a close eye on who's not backing it. And this isn't about panic, as always. This is just about understanding the system before it becomes irreversible and watching how the continuity of power continues, no matter who's walking out of number 10. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for raising more insight into the petition, whoever you've been sharing it with. Every single signature matters. So let's keep the pressure on. And as always, I'll continue to keep bringing you updates that aren't in the mainstream media.